I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, see me as an arrogant ass, which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world. And I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out, but at the end of the day, I also have the kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the college students rooting for me and want to see me and Mike.
Mike Tyson has reportedly brawled with Jake Paul in a brutal face-to-face fashion at a promotion event for their fight. On the other hand, KO legend Butterbean, real name Eric Esch, claimed that the battle will never happen intentionally. He said, him and Tyson are never gonna fight. That has been a scam from the very beginning just to boost Jake's name, and it has. This guy, everybody's talking about him, but he's never gonna fight Tyson. At the peak of his career, Butterbean tipped the scales at a staggering 36 stone and managed to surpass the fourth round just once in a bout with the legendary Larry Holmes. Although he lost a staggering 14 stone, he has hinted at a potential return to the ring in recent years. His last boxing match was in 2013. Butterbean further added, they were never planning on fighting each other because a promoter would never let him fight anyone else in between a fight. Never. Not that big a fight. It's been a scam from the beginning. Butterbean challenged Paul to a $2 million winner-take-all fight because he wants to fight him. He said on TikTok, "Hey Jake Paul, would you fight me for $2 million? Winner takes all." Butterbean has competed in more than 100 boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts bouts. He has also dabbled in pro wrestling. After co-starring in a television program with retired professional wrestler Diamond Dallas Page, he drastically reduced his weight. Paul only had 11 boxing matches, but Butterbean had 91. The internet celebrity has won 4 times since losing to Tyson Fury's 25-year-old brother Tommy in Saudi Arabia in 2023. However, Mike Tyson has been backed to knock out Jake Paul in a fight which will make heavyweight history. At 58 years old, the heavyweight legend is set to make a remarkable comeback, stepping into the ring against 26-year-old YouTube sensation Jake Paul on November 15th in a surprisingly official matchup. If the fight unfolds as scheduled, Tyson is set to surpass Roy Jones Jr.'s record for the longest heavyweight career, spanning from 1985 to 2024. Boxing sensation Willie Hutchinson, who will face Joshua Buatsi on the undercard of the Anthony Joshua vs. Daniel Dubois showdown, is confident in his victory, citing Paul's restricted skill set as a key factor. He said, "Wow, that is still happening? It's terrible, isn't it? The man is 60 years old. I still think he can beat and knock out Jake Paul even at the age of 60. He isn't worth anything." I think it's a shame though, really. It is letting boxing down and it is making it a bit of a mockery. After a devastating outcome in his last fight, Kevin McBride retired Tyson from competition in 2005. At that time, his physical state had gotten worse, and now, 19 years later, he is still battling health issues in an attempt to fully recover. In an effort to demonstrate his readiness, Tyson has begun sharing training videos for the first time since his comeback, following the need to postpone the fight. Though it will be difficult to defeat Paul, who is at the peak of his physical abilities, he still carries his fierce force in spurts. Hutchinson added, "I mean, what good is that doing or gaining for boxing? But everyone will buy in and watch it. It's Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. They are big names. It's a shame. I don't care how much money you are getting. I wouldn't jeopardize what I've done if I was Mike Tyson, just to say I am fighting Jake Paul." Teddy Atlas, the former coach of the undisputed champion, is confident that despite the fighter's age and diminished abilities, this might just be sufficient to secure a victory. He said, "You better be aware, knowing Tyson the way I do, power doesn't disappear when you're old. He's still got speed, combinations. He's still got that style that he was taught to make you miss and create openings for that power." Atlas mentioned that Mike Tyson still possesses the ability to weave, slip, and create openings to deliver a powerful punch that could knock an opponent out quickly. He noted that there were no agreements or funny business involved, and emphasized that it was a dangerous and risky fight for Paul. But Atlas gave Paul credit for doing this fight. He further added, "Tyson's gonna come out there, and if you do have an agreement with him, good luck. Because I know Tyson. When that bell rings, he might have a short memory about any agreement other than the agreement to put hands on your chin." As per the official rules, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will face off over 8 two-minute rounds this November. The two competitors are separated by a 30-year age difference. Paul has remained active in the boxing world, taking on former MMA fighters, while Tyson has been out of the ring for nearly 20 years. Some in the sport believe the former undisputed champion might turn back the clock against the significantly less experienced 27-year-old. However, former world champion turned analyst Paulie Malignaggi told ProBox TV that there is a strong possibility his heavyweight hero could get hurt. Malignaggi reflected on the Mike Tyson mystique of the late 80s, recalling how he was alive and could remember the excitement surrounding Tyson during that time. He expressed sadness, stating that while he is happy whenever Tyson can make money and be all right, he doesn't want to see his childhood hero get hurt. Malignaggi also noted that Jake Paul is more dangerous than people are giving him credit for.
Sure that the odds will shift once all the money comes in on Mike Tyson, because there's a lot of people in love with the Mike Tyson mystique.
The nostalgia.
And that will shift the odds. But, bro, I'm older than you guys. I'm telling you, I was alive and can remember the Mike Tyson mystique of the late 80s. It's sad for me, bro. Not that he's doing this, because I'm happy that anytime the guy can make money and be all right, man. He's one of the first heroes that I can remember. It's Diego Maradona, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. Those are the first, like, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T. Like, those are the first, like, heroes that I can remember from my age, born in 1980. So I'm a little older than you. I can literally remember what it's like to wake up the morning of a Tyson fight pre-Buster Douglas and be like, whoa. You know, it's like, dude, it's like, I don't want to see the guy get hurt. That's all, man. I feel like Jake is more dangerous than everybody's giving him credit for.
The fact that Tyson had to cancel the event due to a medical emergency, later identified as an ulcer flare-up, was already cause for concern. To stay active, Paul kept the fight scheduled and defeated bare-knuckle boxer Mike Perry. The bout has been rescheduled to November 15th at Arlington, Texas's AT&T Stadium. Although Mike Perry was the most recent name to be removed from the Americans' hit list, he still has a few more targets in mind. Paul said on the Nelk Boys podcast, Alex Pereira, Conor McGregor, Canelo, KSI, Tommy Fury. Paul surprised everyone by calling out UFC light heavyweight champion Pereira following his victory over Perry. He is a former kickboxing champ and two-division title holder in the UFC, who has teased a move into boxing before. At 36 years old, McGregor has been a persistent target for Paul, yet the Irishman still has 2 fights remaining on his existing UFC contract. In 2017, he received a rare exception to compete against Floyd Mayweather, 47, but the UFC classified it as a singular, unprecedented allowance. At 34, Canelo remains the premier draw in boxing's pay-per-view scene and has previously kept the door open for a potential bout with Paul. At 25 years old, Fury stands as the sole fighter to have defeated Paul since their February 2023 clash in Saudi Arabia, and the defeated American has called for a rematch ever since. At 31, KSI stands as Paul's fiercest competitor, a rivalry that traces back to the 2019 victory over Paul's older brother, Logan, who is 29. However, negotiations have fallen apart in recent years due to a contentious disagreement over weight. In his last 3 bouts, Paul has fought at the cruiserweight limit of 200 pounds, gearing up for his move to heavyweight, where he'll face Tyson. KSI, on the other hand, last fought at 183 pounds, the night he was controversially defeated by Fury, and Paul admitted, "It's honestly the difficulty in figuring out the weight. The original deal was 185, but we're both way over that. He's walking around at 205 and I'm at 212. The lowest I could go to now would be 195, and that would be difficult. So it's about figuring that out. He can have anything he wants. The fight's going to be in London. I just need him to compromise on the weight." On the other hand, Kevin McBride, the final boxer to face Mike Tyson in a professional bout, has delivered a stern warning to Jake Paul as the YouTuber-turned-boxer readies himself for a showdown with the former heavyweight champion. November is the date of their fight, and McBride's observations provide a preview of Paul's tough opponent. Though Tyson's age might suggest a decline, McBride, now 51, is convinced that the iconic boxer remains a formidable opponent. McBride, who claimed victory over Tyson by technical knockout in 2005, the final bout of Tyson's professional career, reminisces about the encounter with striking clarity. He recalls the immense power Tyson wielded, even as he approached the end of his illustrious career. "When Tyson hit me, it felt like my head was spinning," McBride recounted in an interview with Instant Casino, describing the intensity of Tyson's punches. He detailed how, following a punishing hit, he seized Tyson in a headlock and taunted him, intensifying Tyson's fury. As McBride recounts, Tyson retaliated by sinking his teeth into him, inflicting severe pain. This dramatic incident, immortalized in the fight footage, highlights the relentless and volatile spirit Tyson continues to bring to the ring, even years beyond his prime. Keeping this in perspective, McBride shared his insights with the 27-year-old Paul. He stressed the crucial need for a solid defense and the necessity of staying vigilant against Tyson's erratic tendencies. McBride specifically cautioned Paul to stay exceptionally alert, especially if Tyson were to discard his mouthpiece, a gesture that, in McBride's experience, often signaled an imminent and potentially perilous surprise. Tyson is a fearsome man, even in his 50s. It takes real courage to step into the ring with him, whether you're a seasoned fighter or a YouTuber like Paul McBride advised. Many have conjectured that Paul may benefit from Tyson's advanced age, providing the younger fighter a chance to win. McBride is quick to refute this idea. He maintains that Tyson's power is still formidable and could prove pivotal in the bout. According to McBride, power is the final attribute a fighter relinquishes, and even with age, Tyson continues to deliver an astonishing punch. If Tyson connects with just one solid hit, it could be lights out for Paul, McBride suggested, indicating that the younger fighter could find himself in serious trouble if he underestimates Tyson's capabilities. McBride hinted at the prospect of a comeback, suggesting he might consider stepping back into the ring for another bout with Tyson, should the chance present itself. If Tyson wins and Paul wants a rematch, I'd be ready to step in again, McBride said. In the event that Tyson or Paul withdrew from the impending bout, he even offered to step in. As the showdown between Tyson and Paul approaches, McBride's cautions offer a stark preview of the battle Paul is about to encounter. Despite being in his late 50s, Tyson remains a formidable adversary, and Paul will need to summon his utmost prowess if he hopes to leave the ring unscathed. With Tyson's legendary status as one of the most intimidating fighters ever, the stakes for this bout are nothing short of monumental. Tyson's last professional bout was in 2005, where he suffered a defeat to Kevin McBride and seemed far from his former prime. Since then, he has struggled with health problems. Although the match rules are designed to ease the challenge, numerous fighters are criticizing Paul for arranging the fight, deeming it disrespectful. According to BJ Flores, the former coach of the YouTuber-turned-fighter, Iron Mike wanted the bout to appear on each man's record. BJ Flores said, "Mike wants to fight. Mike wanted the fight. It wasn't Jake searching Mike out. Mike wanted the opportunity and make it not an exhibition, a real fight. Jake loves Mike. He thought it was a big event. Netflix got behind, and the AT&T Stadium got behind it." Then, the former world title contender declared that Paul will either lose or shock the boxing community by defeating a legend. BJ Flores added, "It's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people to watch, but it's kind of a lose-lose for Jake because you don't want to beat Mike. And if Mike beats you, then, you know, Mike's still dangerous. It'll be a good event. I'm going to watch it." Of course, people have mixed feelings about it, but they're not the ones in the ring. Roy Jones Jr. was the last man to share a ring with Mike Tyson, but it was an exhibition match. In 2020, the multi-weight world champion squared off against Iron Mike in an exhibition event dubbed Lockdown Knockdown. While the bout officially ended in a draw, many observers believed Tyson emerged victorious, and the punch statistics seemed to back that up. In an interview with Shane Mosley, Jones reflected on the battle and believed Tyson was the hardest puncher he had ever encountered. Jones remarked that Mike Tyson is still the strongest puncher he has ever faced in the ring, even at 55 years old at the time, and now 58. He recalled that the first time Tyson hit him in the chin, it felt like being kicked in the chest by a mule.
Mike Tyson's still the strongest puncher that I've ever been in the ring with, ever. At 55 at the time, now I think he's 57, about to be 58, he's still the strongest puncher I've ever been in the ring with. First time he hit me in my chest, I feel like a mule had kicked me in my chest. So if he hits anybody on the chin with a shot like that, they're going either out or they're going down, especially guys that are not used to being hit like that. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of people like Evander Holyfield and Lewis, these guys are bigger and they can take it, but Jake Paul, I don't think he's gonna be able to take that. It might hit him on the chin like that. We'll see, but it's gonna be tough.
The event was a hit, showcasing that exhibitions with retired fighters can be both enjoyable and uplifting, rather than somber. The undercard spotlighted Jake Paul, who is set to take things up a notch by facing Tyson in a professional match, though with more lenient rules, in November. The proposed fight has sparked significant debate, primarily due to the age difference between the competitors. Jones cautioned Paul that evading the former undisputed heavyweight champion would be impossible, and that confrontation was inevitable. He believes the YouTuber-turned-fighter has been training intensively, having bulked up specifically for this encounter. Jones added that if Jake is at 230 pounds, it could make the fight very interesting. He pointed out that Jake wouldn't fight up close, but he also couldn't keep his distance because Tyson would close the gap too quickly. Jones shared his own experience, noting that he thought he could stay away from Tyson, but couldn't, even though he believes he's better at keeping distance than Jake. He explained that this is likely why Jake has gained weight, hoping to be strong enough to push Tyson backward and keep him at bay, but Jones doubted that Jake would be able to stay away from Tyson.
Jake, I just seen Jake yesterday, and he was 230 pounds. He looked kind of big. Yeah, he was 230, right? I was like, damn, you big.
Well,
like, really big.
That can make it interesting then.
So, and then he said that he feels as fast as he was at 185 or 90. He's still young.
If he's at 230, that can make it very interesting.
Yeah. So, so yesterday I seen him. He was 230. He was really big, and it looked like he was comfortable in the weight. So I know that Mike Tyson likes to fight in close.
Right.
Like he likes to bob and weave and then get close. So do you think that I haven't really seen Jake fight in close like that?
No,
you know how to do it.
No, Jake's not gonna fight close like that, and Jake can't stay away from him because Mike know how to close the gap too quick. I thought I could stay away from him. I couldn't stay away from him, and I know I'm better at staying away from people than Jake is. So no, Jake won't stay away from him, and that's why Jake put the weight on him, because he knows he's not gonna be able to stay away from him. What he's hoping is that he be muscle enough to push him backwards and keep him off of him, but he won't be able to stay away from him. He knows that.
When asked whether Paul's youth might allow him to push the 58-year-old Tyson back, or if Tyson was too old to get close, Jones responded negatively. He explained that neither of those scenarios was true. Jones added that if someone is big enough to push Tyson back, it's a good strategy since Tyson doesn't fight as well moving backward as he does going forward. However, he cautioned that Paul has never been hit like that before, so it remains to be seen how he would handle it.
He said that he feels as fast as he was at 185 or 90. He's still young.
If he's at 230, that can make it very interesting.
Yeah. So, so yesterday I seen him. He was 230. He was really big, and it looked like he was comfortable in the weight. So I know that Mike Tyson likes to fight in close.
Right.
Like he likes to bob and weave and then get close. So do you think that I haven't really seen Jake fight in close like that?
No,
you know how to do it.
No, Jake's not gonna fight close like that, and Jake can't stay away from him because Mike know how to close the gap too quick. I thought I could stay away from him. I couldn't stay away from him, and I know I'm better at staying away from people than Jake is. So no, Jake won't stay away from him, and that's why Jake put the weight on him, because he knows he's not gonna be able to stay away from him. What he's hoping is that he be muscle enough to push him backwards and keep him off of him, but he won't be able to stay away from him. He knows that.
So what do you think about Jake being because he used to wrestle. He was a pretty good wrestler, I guess, in high school or whatever it was. So maybe he can wrestle him and then do something with them. Do you think that's a possibility or not really?
What he better know how to do is wrap them arms up. That's what he better know how to do. You can wrap them arms up, you okay. If you can't wrap them arms up, you never kiss it goodbye.
In a conversation with Boxing Social, Johnny Nelson, the reigning champion with the longest cruiserweight title streak ever, highlighted that the difference in experience will be significant. He said, "From day one, I said for Mike Tyson, who's the same age as me, and everyone knows Mike Tyson's experience, what he's done, what he's achieved, and Jake Paul doesn't even know what Mike Tyson's forgotten. But the one thing you can't cheat, the one thing you can't buy, the one thing you can't own is time. Mike Tyson's best times are done." Nelson pointed out that the difference between the two fighters could be a game changer, suggesting that the decision to enter the ring might turn out to be a mistake for the heavyweight legend. He added, "Even at the back end of his active career, he knew he'd gone. His style suits a young active man. It suits a man in his 20s, not a man that's 58 years old. A younger person's energy levels are going to be 10 times more than mine. So no matter how much experience I have on them, their energy is going to be too much for me, and that will be the same here." He further added, "If it's about the money, then go for it, Mike. If that's what it's about, if it's anything other than the money, then you're making a bad move." In surprising news, it appears that Mike Tyson is the latest victim of the viral TikTok trend, "Give me my money." The current trend, which has received millions of views on social media, has already taken the interest of other superstars, including Will Smith and Idris Elba. Numerous sports teams and artists have also attempted it, but we don't believe Tyson fully grasped the concept. When his daughter Milan posted the video to social media, the 16-year-old tennis player couldn't help but make fun of her father. Milan later expressed her regret and affection with a heartfelt apology on social media. Mike Tyson: "I am sorry, but I love you though." When Iron Mike's time finally comes, he starts to feel embarrassed since he realizes he is the target of the joke. With more than 1.2 million views to date, Tyson's unsuccessful attempt has gone viral very fast.
Back up a little bit, Uncle Mike. All right, okay,
so
we're gonna do it
me
here.
and him are gonna do it first. Can I get in here?
All right.
Okay.
All right, so we're all gonna cheer, okay?
Okay. Just give me my money.
Yeah! Just give me my money. Yeah! Fucking money.
Now coming back to the fight, A lot of people thought Tyson had done enough to win the bout. To be honest, some have questioned Tyson's decision to take on YouTuber-turned-boxer Paul. In addition to the money, the 58-year-old gave some justification for his choice. Tyson said, "I don't think he can hurt me, and I'm a glory junkie. I love people thinking about me all day. I'd rather live a short life of glory than a long life of obscurity. It's just who I am. This is all I started fighting for, to get all this fucking status. I'm going to be chasing it for the rest of my life. I know that. I'm never going to get what I want because I'm one of those gluttons for pain. I can never get enough." Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning will be present when boxing icon Mike Tyson and YouTube-turned-professional boxer Jake Paul come together for a press conference to hype up their eagerly awaited bout. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that the four-time Super Bowl champion will serve as the event's distinguished guest. Peyton Manning will be a special guest at the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson press conference during Fanatics Fest NYC on August 18th at the Javits Center, Schefter posted to his X, formerly Twitter account. He added, "Manning will join host Ryan Clark on stage and be a part of the activities and face-off before the November fight." Mike Tyson is gearing up for his first pro bout in 2 decades. In March, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation elevated his match against Paul from a mere exhibition to a legitimate professional contest, which will officially impact both fighters' records. This decision has ignited excitement among boxing enthusiasts, who have eagerly anticipated witnessing Iron Mike return to the ring for at least one final clash. During their initial press conference to hype up the inaugural bout, the two fighters took to the podium, trading sharp verbal barbs. Tyson playfully ribbed Jake about his physique, even as he praised the YouTuber's budding boxing career. "It was good while it lasted for Jake, okay? It was good while it lasted," Tyson said, per WFAA's YouTube page, while taunting his opponent. He added, "It's not gonna last much longer. You're fat, Jake?" Tyson's criticism of Paul's weight was a recurring theme during the press conference. Jake drew a comparison to Buster Douglas, who famously dealt Tyson his first loss in 1990. That upset remains one of the most iconic in boxing history. "Hey, Buster Douglas was fat, am I right?" Paul quipped. Tyson responded immediately. "But you're no Buster Douglas," Tyson said before Jake replied. "I'm better," he said. Paul then said, "And I'm gonna finish you quicker than he did, and you'll remember that forever. You started me off. I appreciate that. I love you. I love you like a father loves his son, but I must discipline you." Meanwhile, Lennox Lewis is certain that Mike Tyson can still cause problems for Jake Paul in their impending bout. Concerns have arisen that Tyson might be stepping into a lopsided match, especially after Paul defeated his replacement, Mike Perry, with a knockout in the 6th round. Although Tyson retired from professional boxing in 2005, and hasn't fought since a dull draw exhibition with Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, his former opponent Lewis is confident that Tyson's extensive experience could prove pivotal. Asked in May if he was concerned about the two fighters' safety, Lewis told The Guardian, "I'm concerned for Jake Paul. Tyson still knows how to punch, as you can see when he's hitting a bag. If Jake Paul gets hit by one of those punches, he's going to feel it. I know Jake Paul doesn't want to get hit." Lewis added, "Tyson comes forward and he knows how to cut off the ring. It could be a matter of time, as how good is Jake Paul's defense? I saw Mike a couple of weeks ago and he looked good. He was walking around without a shirt and showing off his body, so he's getting ready." Speaking after Tyson had to pull out of the original date, Paul said, "I do value Mike's health. Love that guy. So much respect for him, and I want Mike to be healthy. He still says he's going to knock me out, and I bought myself some time, so Mike is still talking shit over there." Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.